Welcome back to GoldenEye. We are heading to Siberia in Siberia. In 1991, we can see the Cold War is over because they're talking about Russia instead of USSR. And apparently General Urmov is now, well, a general. I kinda skipped through that, but yeah, he's a general now and he's in charge of the space division.
I see.
Which may or may not be important. Now, surface here is... Well, some people don't like this level because it's kind of a big empty space. I kinda enjoy it for that exact reason, because you didn't really see this sort of thing in shooters back then.
I can kind of understand the appeal from that perspective. It just feels like, I guess it would be one of those things that just kind of like feels a little lifeless and empty to actually play through, I suppose?
I don't know. I just never really had any problem with this. I probably could have just blown up the explosive barrels there, but I didn't want to make any more noise than I absolutely had to. Now, speaking of making noise, here are some grenade rounds. We're gonna need something to shoot those with. Because there's like actual grenade launcher rounds.
Right.
Look at that guy's LOD.
Oh no, you've been spotted.
Like 8 polygons. Yeah, in most levels you don't really see that very often, but here it's pretty obvious, especially on the Xbox, of course, with the higher resolution and stuff. Also, we have picked up the club, the famous club, the worst weapon ever devised.
What makes this the worst weapon ever?
I'll get to it in a moment. Look at this giant key he was carrying. Yeah, the club... It is a submachine gun that is... Well, you can't hit the broadside of the barn with it, and it does barely any damage.
Gotcha.
I think one of the sort of special forces guys shot us with it there as we left the shack, and it did nothing.
I was gonna say, it seemed more like he was attempting to shoot you.
One shot from the club takes off like half a bar of health on 00 Agent. So on Agent it basically does nothing. The damage... Well, on Agent I think it's 25% of 00 Agent. And Secret Agent is there in the middle. So it's about... Wait, no, I got this wrong. Agent is half the damage of 00 Agent, and Secret Agent is 75%.
Gotcha.
We got some Z fighting going on. This also happens on original hardware. I went back and checked. That is a problem there as well.
Well, I'm glad that this is, faithful, I suppose.
Yeah, the emulator they are using here is actually pretty faithful. Maybe too much so. They didn't really need to go that hard.
Now I'm kind of curious if these issues show up on the 360 build of this game.
I don't think they do. I would have to go back to check. That does have the toggle for the original graphics, but it was a port of the source code, so I think they did manage to fix that sort of stuff.
Ah, okay.
So that was our first security camera, I think. We don't have to come here, but there's some stuff I want to look at, like these models.
That's pretty cute. I kind of like that.
Let's see what happens when we shoot them.
Oh, Jesus!
A giant explosion. I think that's probably one of those things that the devs left in because it was funny.
I certainly would.
Yeah, the car and the motorcycle, they were supposed to be used in a couple of missions, but were never implemented, so that's just the models here.
I was gonna say, I feel like Kojima got some inspiration for MGS2 from that, but I don't know if he went so far as to make little interactables explode.
Yeah, we just got shot by a sniper and I have no idea where he is, so that was good sniping from him. Of course, he couldn't quite take down James Bond, but still.
Yeah, if I remember right, from 007 Legends, James Bond is a hardy fellow who can take 3 rockets to the face.
Yeah, I don't think we can take 3 rockets in the face on 00 Agent here. I think that's that's more like James Bond at that point.
He was fine. I don't think I can ever repeat that, but you know.
Speedrun strats. There was 4 locks atop the grate. So we can just go down here and enter the next level.
Oh, that's cool.
I was hoping somebody would follow us so I would blow them up with the grenade, but sadly not. That is basically the best use for the grenade launcher in that level.
Ooh,
so let's see what next.
You missed your best time by 10 seconds.
Yeah, even though I actually went to the area that I didn't have to go to and show off the models and all that. So that was a pretty good run. One of the cheats is unlocked. Yeah, there I just aborted the mission because I forgot to look at the briefing. Kind of muscle memory there. Just look at the objectives here as well. We have to blow up all the security cameras, copy the GoldenEye key and leave the original and photograph the video screen. And then we have to also download some data from the mainframe.
All in a day's work, Mr. Bond.
Yeah, Bond barely knows what a mainframe is, so Q has a gadget for that, called the Data Thief. Now this first room here was used as a test environment because it has all kinds of, well, systems and mechanics here that they could test. We got the alarms and all the guard reactions and that sort of thing, as well as this camera right outside.
Uh-huh.
I was hoping they wouldn't notice that, but yeah, I think they are a little bit more, well, awake on 00 Agent. I'm pretty sure that on Agent I have shot that camera and they were just like, oh, okay, the camera blew up. Well, it was Soviet tech, so it was bound to happen eventually. This guy doesn't give a shit.
Well, he's not going to now.
One thing I also always liked about GoldenEye was the variety in the enemy animations.
It is pretty neat, like just seeing how all the different ways they react.
Yeah, and like, they have a whole bunch of death animations as well. All of which were mocapped using primitive mocap tech.
Oh shit, this game used actual mocap?
Yeah, like really early mocap.
That's pretty cool.
And that involved Rare's Duncan Botwood getting clobbered in various ways. By Brett Jones, who was working on the mocap and various art stuff. I never quite figured out the range or the FOV on these cameras. So I kind of want to take it carefully when I approach, because sometimes they will see you from a mile away, and other times they just can't see you when you're right next to them, so...
It would be some time before the Soliton radar would be introduced to the world, probably.
Yeah, GoldenEye is not exactly a stealth game. But stealth is a viable approach here. I could have just gone in guns blazing and all these guys would have swarmed us and I would have had to just gun them down in waves, but now I could kind of take my time and go through the level methodically, or as methodically as I am capable of, which is not very. Look at this guy with his double clubs. Just going all akimbo with those.
He thinks he's so cool.
Oh, he does. We lost no health whatsoever.
But can you dual wield the club?
Oh yeah, I can do a duel with the club and many other weapons.
Oh shit, really?
But I'm not going to because, yeah. GoldenEye is the first game I can think of that had dual wielding. Which is often credited to Halo, I think, or Halo 2. But that was 7 years later. GoldenEye had dual wielding, Perfect Dark had dual wielding, I think Time Splitters had as well. Time Splitters, of course, being the sort of spiritual successor made by Free Radical.
Right.
Was a bunch of X-Rare developers. Now this right here is the exit. We could go through the exit right now, but of course we haven't done any of the objectives, so we would fail the mission. I just want to take those guys out. Now let's look at this video screen here. Get our 007 branded camera. I take some time here to actually read what the text says on that. It says weapon armed in English, just with Cyrillic alphabet. That is location or location, and the last one is Severnaya, which is where we are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it says weapon armed in English but written in the Cyrillic alphabet, but I suppose the guys making this didn't know any more Russian than I do, so it kinda makes sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say they probably didn't, like, really check to see what would actually go there. They just went with using the Russian language as a cipher.
And here's Boris. We don't know he's Boris yet, but he's Boris. In the movie, of course, we wouldn't meet him until much later, or at least Bond wouldn't meet him until much later. But this whole bit in 1991 is, of course, made up for the game. So yeah.
Ah, okay.
Have you seen the film?
I actually have not.
Okay, well then that's great. Everything I say is gonna just be complete nonsense. Which is not really anything out of the ordinary, but still.
Yeah,
Yep, that's his password in the movie as well.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was
Boris,
like...
you piece of shit.
I wasn't sure if that was a movie thing or if that was just Rare's humor.
Yeah, and Bond just shoves the data thief through the cooling vents on the side.
Anyway, as I was saying, this came up back when I was doing that LP of 007 Legends with Jabba Fett.
I still need to watch that.
007 Legends is certainly a game, but it came up then and it's coming up again now, but I've watched maybe like 2 or 3 Bond films in my life.
Dude, we have to watch GoldenEye at some point.
Yeah, I probably should.
Just do a watch along on Discord or something.
What have I watched? I've watched Dr. No, and I know I've watched another Pierce Brosnan one. I can't remember what it's called though.
What was it about?
I just remember it being set partially in Vietnam, I think?
Vietnam. That doesn't really ring a bell.
I'm gonna go look.
Die Another Day was partially in Korea.
Maybe it was that one? I have to go look this up now.
Well, now we have moved on to 1993 apparently, and we are in the missile silo in Kyrgyzstan. And they have rigged to blow it up, so we have to haul ass.
Oh man.
This is actually one of my favorite levels. But this is like, you don't have time to screw around, you have to go. This was one of the earliest levels designed, I think, back when the game was still a rail shooter, and you can really see it in here.
Oh, with how, like, linear and claustrophobic this, the level is? Yeah, I can kind of see it.
Yeah, this is entirely a rail shooter level. Oh, damn it. Yeah, nice combat roll, idiot. The scientists here drop keycards that we need to progress through the next door, which are easy to miss if you don't know that. Now, I'm not entirely sure why we need to put the C4 here, because the silo is gonna blow up anyway, but I guess it's just to make sure.
Yeah, gotta make sure the job's done.
That one guy doesn't care. Come on, man. I'm trying to help you.
Whose face was on the monitor there?
It was one of the developers.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Can't quite remember who it was. Now, behind that door that I didn't go to, they have a pickup of body armor there on the lower difficulties, or at least on Agent. But not here, so I'm just gonna ignore it.
What's there instead? Is it dudes trying to shoot you?
Nothing.
Or...
I think it's just nothing.
Okay.
Whoop. Yeah, I'm gonna blow these up just in case, even if it wasn't funny, I would blow them up, because if I didn't, these guys would when I'm standing next to them.
Good call.
Which is generally not a good idea. Whoop. That was also not a good idea, to just stand out in the open.
Oh, you'll be fine. It's a flesh wound.
Yeah, speaking of flesh wounds, one thing about GoldenEye that makes it quite challenging, especially on Double Agent, is the fact that there is no health, like health pickups at all, ever.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I haven't noticed a single one, and that's probably why.
Yep, that's because there are a grand total of 0 health pickups in the entire game. You do have the body armor pickups in a few levels. Well, if you play on Agent, they are basically everywhere, but on Double O Agent we have 1 in this level, the next one in level 10, and then there's a few in level 12, and some in the later ones.
Are the body armor pickups just for the level, or does that carry over? It's just for the level, right?
Yeah, they are just basic armor pickups for that level.
Gotcha.
It all gets reset. But that guy's still alive. How is that guy still alive? I shot him like 10 times. Hit everything except the important bits, I guess.
I was gonna say maybe that dude could take 3 rockets to the face and live.
That guy was stuck in the wall. Which is apparently a new bug introduced in this version, so I'm not sure what happened there.
Huh.
Anyway, yeah, now that we have gone loud with the KF7 and I am timing my reloads like a complete idiot. Yeah, now these guys are kinda gunning for us. Just everybody kinda running at us.
It's understandable.
Yep. Which is something that you kinda want to avoid for as long as you can, but of course at some point you will run out of the silenced pistol ammo. So just grab all their stuff. Wait, where's this guy? Should be a guy. Actually, I think he came out of this room, so never mind. Okay, we got the last circuit board. as was the next keycard, and this guy also drops something that is very easy to miss, the DAT, which is also an objective. It's the telemetric data for the shuttle, I think.
Ah, okay.
So just plant another C4 in this fuel room and then head forward, and that guy's just walking towards us with the KF-7 like some type of Terminator. Didn't go very well for him though.
I see someone has been keeping or taking care of their metal exoskeleton. Does that count as an exoskeleton, actually?
Exoskeleton is on the outside, endoskeleton is on the inside.
That's what it is, endoskeleton, thank you.
I'm very low on health, but thankfully we have the armor right here. If you shoot the armor pickup, like the physical pickup, it protects you less. So we now have 40% of armor, but if I had shot that, we would have like 20 or 30.
That's a pretty nice detail, actually. I mean, not like that it's good to shoot armor before you put it on, but you know.
That guy's sidestep wasn't very well timed, I don't think. And here's one of the GoldenEye satellites, which we need to take a picture of, so let's do that. It doesn't really matter, you just grab some kind of shot of it. I took the side shot just for fun. Give Q at least something to look at. And that should be the final C4 we need to plant. Sir, that is not a computer, that is a window.
He'll figure it out.
I think he forgot his glasses or something. Everyone's just been too polite to tell him. That is not a computer he's been working on.
He's the head scientist, like, you don't want to tell your boss that he's wrong, so...
Speaking of the boss, here's Orumov. On Double Agent, you just want to run towards Orumov here as fast as you can, because if you don't, he'll just shoot you with his pistol from, well, where he was standing, and that will hurt a lot. So just get him to run. Of course, if you don't have any health at this point, that is a pretty easy place to get killed right before the end of the mission. Obviously at this point I have just thrown caution to the wind entirely and just ramboing my way through.
Well, you only got a minute left.
Oh crap, don't want to stand next to that. The guys behind just shot some computers and killed themselves. Good job.
The elevator seems like a very poor decision to make when you've got a minute to evacuate.
It's fine. He'll make it with 7 seconds to go. So that was Silo. It can be one of the harder missions on Double Agent, especially if you haven't memorized the locations of all the enemies. But let's go back to the silo, this time with some cheats. Yeah, check out those beautiful, beautiful faces. Because there's some stuff I want to show off in this specific level. Now first off, let's just swap to a slightly different weapon. We got all the weapons here using the cheat, which you can unlock. On the N64 there were also button codes you could input, but those are not on the Xbox release, so I had to do it the hard way, which is not very hard. Well, I think it technically is kinda hard because, well, you have to beat the final bonus level of the game on Double Agent, which in itself is not hard. But getting to that point to even play the level is quite a challenge. Because you have to beat the entire game on Double Agent. Anyway, yes. I'll just progress through the level normally. Do all this stuff here. The guns we are using here are the RCP-90s, which is probably the best gun in the game, but we won't be able to see it very much on the main run because it eats ammo like a big ammo eating thing.
Yeah, the rate of fire on this thing is nuts.
I think it was supposed to have a 50 round magazine like it does in real life, but somebody screwed up and so it has 80 instead, which is even better of course. And it can shoot through walls, which is cool. I'm not sure why I'm even bothering to hide because I have the invincibility on. Yeah, I have invincibility on for a specific reason that will become pretty obvious once we get there. But for now, just keep on doing what we do. And yeah, you might have seen that in the pause menu there in the weapons, you had the tank. Yes, Bond can shoot tank shells out of his face.
Sure, why not?
I think that was Ken Lobb we just shot. The man, of course, who the club was named after. He was a Nintendo of America executive. I don't remember what he actually did at the time, but he was basically an unofficial member of Rare. And of course later went to Microsoft and that sort of thing. Pick up the dat. Yeah, sometimes the keycards or the dat can be really hard to find because they fall right next to the wall. They might be able to go through the wall as well, which is of course a problem.
Oh, joy.
But that doesn't happen very often. Also, I like how the guns are also big when you use DK mode.
I suppose that would be easier to tell if I'd seen the guns beforehand, just as a comparison point.
Well, the ones on the ground. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's the size of him.
Yeah, no, that's huge.
Yeah, the actual models in the first person, yeah, I think those are just normal, but because the guards are carrying, those are just massive. I like how you can air juggle the guns if you shoot them. When one of the enemies is... Well, when you shoot an enemy, the gun falls out of his hand. You can shoot the gun while it's in midair. And it'll bounce.
That is pretty badass.
Sir. Look at this beautiful face. Yeah, Rare, of course, they used all the developers' faces. They scanned those in and various janitors and whatnot, whoever was available. Okay, that's the final C4, so let's just see quickly here. I keep thinking there's a keycard in this room, which there never is, because you don't need one here. So let's just shoot the C4. I am the god of hellfire! Yeah, basically how this works is, if you shoot the C4 normally, that's just gonna kill you and that's the end of the mission. But since we are invincible, we just have this sort of aura of destruction following us around until we beat the level. We could have done that earlier, but I wanted to actually beat the level. Of course, we can't beat it if everything explodes beforehand.
That's honestly pretty funny.
Yeah, I was gonna show this off on the 360 remake, but it turns out that these constant explosions flashing at 60 FPS was kind of unpleasant. I might upload that as a bonus video for those who wanna see it.